Ugh. I don't want to make a video today.
I don't want to make a video today.
I'm so tired. I stayed up all night thinking about how good the Lion King musical was. This morning, I feel no motivation. I just feel no motivation to do the video, so I'm just not gonna. Nope. Not gonna do it. I just want to sit here and play my banjo all day. What's that? Oh, the people are counting on me? If I don't make the advisory, nobody will?
It's my job and I do it for work.
All right, I guess I'll make a video. Folks, today we are talking about self-motivation and commitment. This is an actual skill that you have to employ both in school and in life. Some things are easy to motivate ourselves to do, things that we like, things that we enjoy, and other things are more difficult, but we have to do them anyway. So today I want to talk about motivation, what it is, where it comes from, and how we can create it when it doesn't seem like there is any motivation there. But like I said, I'm finding it very difficult to motivate myself, and when that happens, I want to turn to outside supports. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a mentor or a teacher. But in this case, I will be finding my motivation from
the internet.
This is a video called How to Get Motivated Even When You Don't Feel Like It. And this is from TED Ed. It's got some fun animations, so let's see what they have to say.
You've always aspired to be a professional artist.
I have?
At last, this dream may become a reality,
Oh, wow.
and you're creating a portfolio to submit to art programs.
Okay.
But as the application deadline looms, you suddenly find yourself unmotivated.
Oh, no.
And avoiding the canvas altogether.
Oh, boy.
Why does motivation seem so fickle?
Hold on. Fickle? What does that mean? Fickle, changing frequently, especially as regards to one's loyalties, interests, or affection. So fickle just means that it changes a lot. And it may seem like the source of our inspiration or whether or not we are motivated or inspired can also change a lot. All right, I'm back on board. What else you got?
Why does motivation seem so fickle? And what even is it in the first place? Psychologists define motivation as the desire or impetus to initiate and maintain a particular behavior. In other words, it's the energy that drives you to do something. And knowing the source of that drive is particularly important when it comes to understanding how to maintain it. These motivational forces generally fall into two broad categories: intrinsic and extrinsic.
Okay, slow down. Okay, so there are two different types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. And if you want an easy way to remember which is which, intrinsic comes from inside of ourselves. All right, that is our self-motivation. That is the stuff that comes from deep within that causes us to do something. Extrinsic motivation comes from outside of ourselves. These are motivators like good grades or wanting to succeed in the eyes of others or maybe even avoiding consequences. Those are all extrinsic motivators.
Intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation is involved when you experience an activity as an end in itself. Take a hobby like playing video games. The experience largely explains the desire to do it. Performing tasks that feel right in the moment or that you find meaningful, interesting, or satisfying are driven by intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, refers to pursuing a task as a means to an end. While few would consider going to the dentist an enjoyable activity, you're often motivated by the outcome of having clean, healthy teeth. Other examples of extrinsic motivation include completing a task to receive some sort of reward, whether it's praise, power, or money.
So intrinsic are things that satisfy us automatically, things that we find meaningful, things that we find rewarding. And extrinsic motivations are a type of reward, whether it's praise, maybe more power, maybe more money. That is the extrinsic motivator that keeps us at work even when we don't feel like going to work.
Notably, these rewards tend to come later.
Oh, man.
Like receiving a bonus at the end of a quarter or winning a competition after months of training. While extrinsic rewards like getting paid may seem appealing,
Yeah.
their effectiveness can be surprisingly short-lived.
Uh-oh.
For example, a 2017 study found that those who were highly focused on the outcomes of their New Year's resolutions, or driven by extrinsic motivation, weren't the most likely to stick to them. What did predict persistence, however, was how much a person enjoyed pursuing their goals. In other words, you're more likely to maintain an exercise routine if you take classes you enjoy, rather than just those that build your biceps.
But I want big biceps. And that's very true, especially when it comes to working out or sports. If I were to tell you, hey, run 3 miles right now because it's good for your heart and it's good for your body, maybe that'll work, maybe it won't. But if I say, hey, go run around the field playing a soccer game for 90 minutes, and you really enjoy soccer, the intrinsic motivator of enjoying the game of soccer will help you do a similar workout. It'll help you do the same things that running 3 miles would, but in a more fun, intrinsically motivated way.
Years of psychology research have shown that high levels of intrinsic motivation for school, a job, or an exercise class are more likely to keep you engaged in the long run. Day-to-day actions, though, are rarely either exclusively intrinsically or extrinsically motivated. Studying for a history exam, for example, can be intrinsically motivated if you're curious about the culture of ancient Egypt.
I am.
But extrinsic motivators may also be at play as you aim to get a good grade or feel pressure from family members to do well in school.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
But having multiple motivators isn't always better. One study of military cadets found that those who were driven both by intrinsic motivators like self-improvement and extrinsic motivators like the outcome of getting a good job were overall less motivated than cadets driven by just one of these factors. As a result, these cadets performed worse and were less likely to graduate. Psychologists call this phenomenon the over-justification effect.
Wait. So you're telling me that even if I have intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, that sometimes even that is not going to be enough? Explain yourself, Ted Ed.
Psychologists call this phenomenon the over-justification effect. The idea that additional extrinsic motivators can actually muddy the waters when you already have the intrinsic drive to do something. But this is only a problem if you already find a task motivating. When you're faced with an activity you find tedious or uninteresting, adding extrinsic rewards can be beneficial.
Okay, yes, this is why I'm here. I don't feel like doing something. How do I motivate myself to do something? This person seems to have a lot on their plate, a lot of tasks, probably not that interesting. Let's see what they say.
When you're faced with an activity you find tedious or uninteresting, adding extrinsic rewards can be beneficial. In this way, extrinsic motivators can provide sufficient justification. While you may never enjoy doing the laundry, it may feel less daunting if you get praise from a loved one. Or even promise yourself that you'll watch your favorite TV show when you're done folding.
I love that show.
Motivation is complicated.
I'll say.
And sometimes, no matter how passionate you are about a goal or hobby, finding the motivation to actually do it can be difficult. But there are things you can do to increase your drive.
Tell me.
Even when it feels impossible.
It does.
Focus on building intrinsic motivation by making the task more fun in the moment. Asking a friend to join you or simply putting on your favorite playlist can give you the boost to get started and stick with your goals for the long haul.
So, when we don't feel intrinsically motivated, there are things that we can do to add extrinsic motivation that says, maybe once I get this piece of homework done, I will play a few minutes
of Call of Duty Zombies.
Or whenever I'm doing something boring, I put good music on, so at least I'm enjoying myself in some way while I'm doing the boring task. Either way, it seems like there are multiple ways to find the motivation to do something. You just have to find where the motivation is coming from. If it's not coming from within yourself, where can you find it outside of yourself? Thank you, Ted Ed. I feel a little bit better. So, in thinking about self-motivation and commitment, I want you to spend some time doing a written reflection about your own motivations, where it comes from, what commitment means to you, and things of that nature. This is a self-reflection, and so you're going to answer these on your own document. You're going to go to bit.ly/WTW motivation, o para español, bit.ly/WTW motivation. Click make a copy to make your own copy of the document and take some time to answer the questions thoughtfully and honestly. And here is a little preview. Number 1, what are the external factors or the extrinsic motivators, things like rewards, praise, support from others, that help increase your motivation the best? What are the things outside of you that motivate you the most? Number 2, when you don't want to do something, but you have to do it anyway, what do you usually do to get that thing done? In other words, how do you find motivation when it doesn't come naturally? Number 3, in your opinion, what does it mean to follow through on a commitment that you have made? Sometimes the extrinsic motivator of having already said that you're going to do something and wanting to follow through can be a positive motivation. What does it mean for you to follow through on commitments? Number 4, think of a time you encountered some sort of setback or failure, but pushed through to succeed anyway. In that moment, what motivated you to keep going? And then number 5, what are some short-term or long-term goals you have in school or in life, and how did those things motivate you when things get difficult? This is just for you. It's a self-reflection. I want you to spend some time really thinking about it. Knowing what motivates us and what doesn't motivate us is a key thing to know about ourselves as we try to do our best in school and our best in life. But that is all from me. Be good to yourself and others, and I will see you tomorrow.